Hey, it's that time of the year. The holidays are upon us, and a lot of you out there are caregivers. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to bring you some tips to help you through the holidays. So if you want to know more about that, please just stay tuned. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Scan FYI. My guest today is Amada Delgado, and she's got a little interesting story happening to her, which she'll address in a moment. So, Amada, thanks for being with me today. Amada, why don't you just tell everyone what you do? What is Alegria Senior Care, and what is your role there?
Sure, absolutely. Good morning. My name is Amada Delgado, and if you can see, I'm in Newark Airport. I'll let you know a little bit about what I do and where Alegria Senior Care was built and why I built it. But I am the owner and operator of Alegria Senior Care. We have over 25 years of experience with our geriatric population, and we help navigate through tons of resources and services that you will need with your loved one in time of crisis or in the hospital or a facility. A little bit about myself. I'm CDP accredited, CCM, long-term care specialist, and we love our community. And I'm also a daughter to about 3,000 grandparents and also millions of loved ones that I take care of in the state of New Jersey and sometimes Florida. We're available 24/7. We cover all of New Jersey. And if you see me glancing, is because I've been up since 3 a.m. to catch this flight to get back to Jersey so I can do my due diligence with my patients that I'm going to see. We offer many wraparound services like home care navigation. It's a complete different component in the state of New Jersey. We help you find the right home care partner based on your finances, your location, and your need. So we make the possible happen with the impossible. We also offer respite care, assisted living, and memory care, placement, and case management. We actually have 3 secret ingredients, which is education, compassion, respect with all our patients. And the way that we approach every family is very unique. We have a comprehensive geriatric assessment that's done by a nursing team, psychology team, or social work team. We offer individualized service plan, which we call an IPS program. And we also, the last component is coordination of care. So if you're interested, Andrea will post.
Well, yeah, again, all of Amada's info is out there. But today, very specifically, we wanted to give some special care tips for caregivers because it's the holiday season. And I feel like the holidays call for a little extra, a little TLC, especially to the caregivers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I got on here, I was doing some studying from the Psychology Journal of Medicine, and the stress that is actually in, the holidays on top of everything else, it's increased by 38%. That's a very large number.
Yeah.
8%, only 8% actually said brings us happiness. So my goal today is to share some really cute tips and nice tips so we could make this a little more manageable.
And that's important. Wow, 38%. All right, so
Yeah.
go ahead. I know your first tip had to do with self-care for the
Yes,
caregiver.
absolutely. So keep self-care on top of your list. We give, and give. And if our cup is empty, what kind of love could we give to our loved ones? Please take some time to take a breath. Have a human that you could speak to just let go of some of that stress without judgment. That's very important. Take a break, drink tons of water, and take some breathing moments to yourself. There's a lot of triggers for yourself and your loved one. Sometimes all these different parties could agitate both of you. Just remember that without you, you're the main person in this relationship, and they trust you. So be kind, be patient, and try to be happy and good to yourself.
And the analogy that I always give when we talk about self-care is when you're on an airplane and the oxygen mask comes down, they'll always tell you take care of yourself first before you can take care of anybody else. And I kind of feel same thing as a caregiver. Take care of yourself first so you can take care of others. Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's one of the main important things. Connect yourself with other caregivers is my tip number two. And why is this so important? Have others on your call list because
Right.
sometimes you're going to need different things. You have a neighbor coming and you need to get something from Trader Joe's. So it's nice to call what we call a caregiver backup list where you could understand their needs and they understand yours and they'll be there to swap favors, which is super duper important. Let that
Yes.
be a family member or a friend, because you don't want to explain the why. You want to have this person understand prior to putting them on the call list their responsibilities, the diagnoses of your loved one, bathroom etiquette, what they eat. So it's not a complete debacle. And the goal is to always navigate through the stress.
Yeah, you always need a backup. That's true in life. Okay.
So
And
the
and of
third
course
one,
your next tip has obviously really related, asking for help.
yeah, that is really important.
It's a
That's one of
tough
the
one.
toughest things to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the toughest things to do for a caregiver, even if you normally do it or don't do it now. It's a very tough time for the caregiver to navigate work, travel, especially if you're traveling to another state. It is overwhelming. So make sure that you are asking for assistance, asking for those rides, not Uber, ask for a familiar face to pick you up to reduce distress. It's very helpful for myself. I actually never ask for help, but I've learned through the years that you do have a very good support system if you just ask. So ask for help.
And it does make your life as a caregiver a little more manageable, I feel, when you know that there's someone else you can depend on.
Not, yeah, absolutely. But make sure that you plan ahead, that they
Yeah.
know your
Yeah.
schedule, because you also want to be respectful to their agenda and their time constraints as well.
Okay. Absolutely. Excellent. All right. What's next?
One of the main things when you're dealing with a patient with a chronic condition, and a lot of individuals over the age of 65 by JAMA, which is the Journal of American Medicine, they have a chronic condition. So make sure that you are prepared for adjusting meals. Food is a big part of my family, your family,
Everyone's.
everybody's family.
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially
and
more than ever during the holidays. Yep.
100%. And you don't want to have your loved one feel excluded or feel that they're infringing on the meal that they're preparing because they can't have it. So pack some food that they can have to reduce the exclusion and uncomfortable moments of I can't have this and I can't have that. So make sure that you're looking at the diet, the dietary restraints, and make sure you pack your loved ones some goodies that they can share at the table and not feel excluded, but include them in the meal, which is always lovely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's about inclusion, not exclusion. And food can be very,
100%.
it can be exclusive if you're not being thoughtful. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So what I do with when my girlfriends, when we get together, we speak about the parent, which is usually my mother. She travels with me often. Hopefully get her back. And my girlfriends always ask me, so what does mom eat? So they make one dish that is called the Rosie dish, and that's what they share for Thanksgiving or Christmas, knowing that my mom will be there. And they just really do their best to accommodate your loved one. So plan ahead and have a menu that works for both parties.
Sure. Sure. Okay. All right. So I know that the next tip that you have is I thought this is important about not leaving someone alone in the other room where the party's in this room and you stick somebody in another room. That's awful.
Awful. I have been I've been navigating seniors for over 25 years and helping families, daughters that travel from Europe to New Jersey to Florida. And they do have a tendency, whether they like to admit it or not, sometimes they leave their loved one in the other room and they
Yeah.
gather getting a cocktail and they're all surrounded in the table talking and laughing. And I'm doing one of these because as a case manager, you follow your patient everywhere and they're by themselves. And I slowly try to remind them that your loved one's in the next room. Maybe you'd like to include them. And they would turn around and they're like, no, he can't hear. He feels, horrible with his hearing aid, or some excuse. And I always say, be gentle and kind and ask them if they'd like to be included.
Right.
So the mutual respect is there and they don't feel excluded. Also, everybody has a little bit of a handicap. So whether it's hearing or a wheelchair, include your loved one. Ask them if they'd like to join. I clearly understand if they're not in the mood or have dementia, which is, a trigger to be around other people, and you have to be cognizant of that component, but let's include, accept, and not exclude.
And just don't make an assumption that they don't want to be with you.
Right.
You ask. You always want to ask. And if they don't want to be with you, that's fine. But at least you did the right thing you asked.
Right. You have the okay, and you don't feel as terrible, because I felt
Exactly.
horrific having, a duplicitous room divider over the holidays, which if it's okay with the patient, I think it's okay with everybody.
Absolutely. Okay. And then I like this one about starting new traditions. This is very good.
Yeah. So I read this one and it didn't make sense until I was dealing with my mother. She's very active and she went blind, and we have started a new surgery, and this is all new to her. So we used to do a lot of going to new places, taking pictures with the Christmas trees. And this year we have to modify a little. So instead of doing our usual and woe's me and oh my God, we can't do this, think about new traditions that you'd like to do. Consider like a drive-through component or an easier component. And I truly love just music therapy or a hand massage, or start new traditions that you could modify and work with dexterity or emotion, low vision education, and try to make it fun, because new traditions are the best traditions. And don't focus on the negative that we've left behind. This is a new baseline for a lot of our parents, so they are already uncomfortable. So try to find a happy way to start new, beautiful traditions together.
I like that. I like that. And you can find ways of honoring other traditions as well. But yeah, you're making new traditions. They are the best.
They are. You go do them together, and you encourage each other to speak about uncomfortability. And because as a daughter, we want them to thrive and we want them to be energetic and we want them to walk, but that might not be where our parent is at the moment, or our loved one, or our friend or neighbor. So again, communication is so important in getting to know the new baseline and build your new traditions.
Exactly. I really do love that. All right. And last but not least, your final
very
tip.
important. I know my most important final tip is a bathroom routine. Please always bring extra clothes, adult products, adult wipes. I always bring a large garbage bag. I know, don't laugh, but accidents do happen, and you can't walk into a friend's kitchen and just dump these items in their garbage can while they're serving food. So accidents are inevitable, but they can be reduced by bringing loved ones food, their wipes, a big garbage bag, and try to maintain their normal habits and make sure that they're going to the bathroom in their leisure at their time, and then arrange accordingly so we don't disturb their normal habits.
And, all of this makes sense. We don't always think about it, but these excellent, very good, Amada, very good tips. Look, it's a tough time of year for everyone. There's a lot of stress under normal conditions. So hopefully you caregivers out there found this useful. And again, I'm going to put all of Amada's information out there. And if you have any specific questions or you need any other information, I know she's there for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, you'll be happier if you just go with the flow. Be prepared, accept that there will be delays, accept that there's going to be crisis. But along those things, there can be real joy. You have to laugh with each other. And remember, if you need anything, grab my number. I answer the phone, even though I'm a caregiver to thousands, to answer your question. You're also important to us. Alegria Senior Care really does love our geriatric population and community. Happy holidays to all. And Andrea, thank you so much, and Scan, for being such a wonderful component to our community. Happy holidays from Alegria Senior Care.
So remember, everyone out there, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr. We'll see you next time on Scan FYI. Bye, everyone, and bye, Amada.
Bye. Happy holidays.